So you're in a position where you want to express that you're sorry about it, but then as soon as you kind of show a little bit of weakness, people are going to use that against you.
Let me clear that.
All right, so Adam John Grand Mason, the 16th of Nashua.
I'm not sorry about nothing. I ain't sorry. Like, he was rapping about it.
What to do, what the business is, people? It's your boy That Way with Jack Travis to be precise. Now, you know how we do, you know how we doing it, man. Back in the thing again, you understand? Topic of discussion today.
Adam John Grand Mason, the 16th.
Him. Yeah, man. So, before we get going, though, like and subscribe to this content, man. If you like what I'm doing, disseminate this out. Let that algorithm get a hold to it and push it out to the people, man. I would greatly appreciate it. You dig what I'm saying? So, like I said, Adam 22, man, is formerly known. He's got a couple of names out here in the world, you know what I'm saying? He's been the subject of many a joke. You may know him from the escapades that he allows his wife to get into. But I think Adam came into the game as an adult film star. You dig what I'm saying? So some of his antics around his sex life with his wife and all that, I guess it's not that weird when you consider the source and all of that. You dig what I'm saying? But, you know, No Jumper is his show, man. Pretty lame material for the most part. When he jumped off early in the day, man, he was along the lines of, I guess, the Say Cheeses and the Vlad TVs of the world. They were just like early adopters of this hip hop, this pop culture space. You dig what I'm saying? But like I said, he's been subject of many jokes, man. This guy Point and Shoot on YouTube stays on his head. Everybody, the whole cast off of No Jumper. Poetic Flacco, Sharp, I think it was a DW Flame. It was just all kind of guys. The Back on Fig dudes used to be on No Jumper. And, you know, it's kind of weird, man, when you look at all the people he employed, the type of people that he employs, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, a lot of them talk that super gangster shit, and it's like, what type of gangster nigga be working for Adam 22? You dig what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I guess it's all for clicks. You dig what I'm saying? Because it doesn't even seem like cats from that world will even be able to tolerate a nigga like Adam, especially being their boss. Like, it's crazy material, man. So, you know, as far as I can tell right now, he's receiving a lot of backlash. His show here in the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months went through a lot of changes. He changed a lot of shows. He said he was going to get back, or he was going to try and go along the lines of like a Vlad TV. You know, Vlad has got certain people he interviews, controversial people, and he'll block them down into like 15-minute segments from a 4-hour interview, and then, you know, he'll proceed to put those out over the course of a couple of weeks. So apparently, Adam 22 is going down that lane. So he interviewed this guy Blockstar. Now, if you don't know Blockstar was one of the guys involved with Pop Smoke's murder. One of 4 or 5 individuals. The story is that this guy says that he was the shooter, but when I look at, you know, the circumstance around it, first of all, guy was 15 when it all went down. Apparently he's 19 now. He was sentenced to 4 years. He only did 3. Now, I don't know what you know about this criminal justice system that we have here in the United States of America. As it pertains to California, you know, this is the thing that let me not conflate the two. But Kamala Harris, our current vice president, you know, the big knock on her, if you will, until you look into the numbers and you see it didn't actually go down like that. But the big knock on her was that she was sending countless individuals in California to jail because of weed. You dig what I'm saying? So it stands to reason that if they're sending you up there because of weed, you're definitely going up through there because of murder. Now, if you've kept up with, you know, crime stats or just watching television and all, you know, this, that, and the third, man, as it pertains to California and gang members and murders, like, man, they got a whole gang, what do they call it, gang enhancement. They throw that on your charge to send your ass up through there. So them trying him as a minor wouldn't afford him only doing 3 years. He would have did 3-4 years, however long it took him to turn old enough to be considered an adult. Then they would have shipped him to big boy prison. A lot of times when you commit a heinous act, they'll try you as an adult, no matter how young you are. Well, I ain't gonna say no matter how young, but people as young as 15 have been charged as an adult. I'm not sure how the laws go in California around that charging as adult thing, but I know damn well murder isn't something that they just slap you on the wrist about. So I look at this situation. He's out in 3 years. That tells me that he was probably like the first one to get in. You know, they say the first one to get in makes a deal, because I just cannot figure for the life of me this high profile murder, how he only did 3 years. They were saying that he was the shooter, and we'll get into it later. We got a couple of clips to get into, but Adam 22 thought a good idea to host this man for an interview, and we'll get into how it goes right about now.
So, okay, the night of this situation, there's been a lot of talk about exactly what y'all were up to in that moment, whether it was a robbery or if there was somebody that basically paid y'all to go do something. How would you describe what was going on that night? Maybe even just like take us through the day if you want.
Well, I'm not finna get into detail about too much, but it was a robbery. Nobody did none of that. That's all false information. It's a lot of pages that's like giving out false information. YouTube's like the vlog, false. Like they don't know nothing. Y'all don't know nothing y'all talking about. Y'all just assuming and y'all just putting shit together as y'all going around. Like, and then like the way they bring up the situation and they be saying like rest in peace to them, they be disrespectful themselves. They be like I don't know. I just feel like if that was my boy and they're posting them and speaking on a situation like that, like I feel like you my op too.
What's the disrespectful part?
Just like I didn't like, so my manager had me watch a couple videos and shit.
And you hadn't seen these videos until you got out of jail?
I seen a couple videos in jail for sure, but I'm not on no. I don't like watching it. Like watching people just talk about me.
Yeah.
Like that shit, like it's cool. Like I don't feel like they're not gonna get a reaction out of me. It's like I want to watch a nigga talk shit about me. Like,
but they be putting it together with like saying that there was, you know, a bag with an address that was posted online. There was a photo of him and his friend where you could see the address in the background. Is a lot of that not true? It's just people putting shit together after the fact?
Oh, that part I can't speak about because I don't know how the address got. I don't know that part. So I can't even speak on that. I'm not finna share a lie to nobody.
Yeah, because what they were trying to say, there was two different scenarios that went on. Mike D, which is Pop Smoke's homie, he had posted a picture outside of the house, and then there was a bag that had a Mary's on it that had the address as well. So with that being said, it sounds like it was like a flocking situation that gone bad. But were you guys fans of Pop Smoke at the time, like to be keeping up with his page, and like was it through Mike D's page or Pop Smoke that the logo got dropped?
I didn't know him at all. I didn't know of him. I probably seen one picture of him before, and like I thought he was a model. I was like, well, you got a good modeling career going on. I mean, I thought he was just on that route, but then all this happened. I'm like, I wake up in the morning. I don't even wake up. I didn't go to sleep. I'm just like, damn. I'm just lost.
So you didn't know that it was going to be that big a deal until it starts popping up in the media and stuff the next day?
Like I said, I didn't know. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was connected to. I don't know where he was from. I didn't know shit. All I knew is what I knew. And that's what I made my decision based off. And I was high too. I was off a bird. So I wasn't really fully aware of anything. Well, too much. So.
And all the dudes you were with were like approximately your age?
Around.
Had y'all gone on missions like this before?
Next question.
Yeah, them perk 30s will do you dirty out here. You dig what I'm saying? My man right here is contributing everything to him being on them perks, man. He wasn't in his right mind when he went and took part in these acts. You dig what I'm saying? And Adam the 16 is being his police officer Vlad as usual, and throwing out the theories about how he may have been set up, how it all went down. Just go ahead and just kind of tell us everything. You dig what I'm saying? Lil bro ain't having it, but this interview gets a lot better or a lot worse, depending on what perspective you have on this thing. But let's continue.
So it wasn't a situation where, because a lot of people were trying to. So when the situation did happen, it was a lot of speculation of what happened, and there was 2 people in the house that night with Pop Smoke that people thought backdoored them and shit. So you saying that you didn't know any of the people in the house at all?
Nobody backdoored nobody. Let's clear that up. Nobody. I know that 100% for sure. Nobody backdoored nobody. That female. I can't speak too much on it, but she don't know what she's talking about at all.
As far as what did she say that you?
She
seen?
came out at one point and basically acted as if she believed that it was a backdoor situation, and she tried to call out the Mike D dude and like act like he was being shady, but it never really seemed like that was accurate. You're saying that that's true, that y'all did not know him, because how the bunch of 15-year-old kids from LA be in touch with older Brooklyn Crip dudes, that just like seemed like a stretch from the beginning, right?
Exactly. Well, I'm not saying it's impossible to know, but we didn't know that nigga. I don't even know what he looked like. I don't even know what the female looked like.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I don't wake up in the morning and pay attention to this situation. It's in the back of my head, like, what I did, like, feel me? But I'm not every day, that's what they post and what they talk about. I just let social media be social media. Yeah, they want a reaction, I'm not gonna give it to y'all. So I just let them do what they do. You're not getting a reaction out of me.
Right. And so, I mean, I don't know exactly like what you're going to be comfortable talking about, but everybody keeps saying that you were the trigger man. Is that accurate?
Next question.
Can't talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Even if you wasn't the trigger man, I feel like, because a lot of people were saying it was a robbery gone wrong. No one was intending to get hurt that night.
Nobody's intending to get hurt. Nobody.
So do you feel like drugs played a part in the situation? Like, why did he end up getting shot anyway? Like, why? Especially
I don't feel like the drugs was part of the situation. I just feel like, I don't know, we was just kids being kids from the hood, and too much movement. That's all, too much movement.
as a movement from Pop Smoke
Movement from everybody.
in the house.
Too much shit going on. It's too much shit going on. So it's just like, it wasn't intentionally. We wasn't on that.
You were picturing it just being a in and out type of situation, or you didn't even know they were going to be home, right?
I didn't even know they was gonna be home. Honestly, I didn't know. Once I got there, I got there.
Nah, bro, I can't ride with this shit. This nigga act like he just fell off stage at one of his shows or something. You know what I'm saying? Bro act like he got pulled over and had somebody, you know, like a mate situation, had a person of alternate lifestyle in the car. Like, he act like what he did is just like, yeah, you know, man, it ain't, I don't like the vibe he's giving out, man, but for something, when you know them perks, you dig what I'm saying? Like, the world don't really matter. Things don't really matter. And it's a sad state to be in, man. Young kids out here these days, they just turned up. Because, you know, in his estimation, you know, we just kids being kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just doing stuff that kids from the hood would do. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you can't blame us, you know? Cut me some slack. I just kind of spit out of my mouth crazy then. But you know, man, the fact that they didn't mean to kill him, but you know, as it pertains to that, right? All right, let's say it this way. They're saying he was the trigger man, right? It's not just a slap on the wrist what you did, bro. It's just not easily excusable. You can't say we were just kids being kids when you went to rob someone and killed him. Like you do not get the excuse that you were just kids being kids. Like what? This mentality is bananas, bro. This mentality is bananas. He said that they didn't mean to kill him. They just went to rob him. But mind you, allow me to read you something real quick.
Jackson was in the shower when mass robbers confronted him. During the struggle, one attacker who was 15 pistol whipped the rapper and shot him 3 times in the back, according to court testimony cited by the Los Angeles Times.
Yeah, but there's more. This is the part that got everybody going. Let's go.
It seems like you're in kind of a complicated spot because you feel bad about the situation. You don't want to glamorize the situation. But at the same time, when it comes to the gangbanging shit, people use any little bit of weakness to put pressure on you and to try to, like, you know, use it to, like, grandstand and shit on you. So you're in a position where you want to express that you're sorry about it, but then as soon as you kind of show a little bit of weakness, people are going to use that against you.
Let me clear that. I'm not sorry about nothing. You know, it should never happen, but I ain't sorry. Feel me? Like, if I could go back, I'll go back, but I ain't sorry. Like, niggas die every day. Like, he was rapping about it, all type of shit. So I ain't sorry about it, but you know, I send my condolences to the family, and I wish it never happened. But
So do you regret going to the Airbnb that night?
I don't regret nothing, but I wish I never had either.
But when you say you're not sorry, well, you just seems like you're acting like this is just the circle of life. This is how it happens.
Adam John Grand Mason, the 16th.
No, it's not. I'm not making it a small thing. It's just, I don't know, growing up, my people, my family told me, you ain't sorry for shit. Like, whatever you did it for a reason, and stand on it. So it's like, yeah, I did it, but it wasn't like we all went to go do that. So stop making me feel like, I feel like people need to stop making me feel like I got something to, like I owe something to somebody. I'm sorry. I ain't sorry.
Flag on the motherfucking play. Is this man retarded, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Now, I know he off the pills, but my guy, cuz say his people taught him he not sorry about anything. Cuz say his people told him, man, you know, if when you do something, you know, you stand on business, bro. Now, coming from a common sense perspective, that's good advice. But if that advice included things like killing someone in the midst of you taking something that you can afford to buy yourself, that's bad. That's a bad lesson. There's no honor in that, bro. I'm looking at him like he young. You know, he didn't do that much time in jail, so I don't think he's learned his lesson. You know, when they say, you know, they put you in there to learn your lesson, it doesn't appear that he's learned his lesson. He's attributing to it being young and being on the pills, and he conflates having strong moral character and standing on business. He conflates that with an act such as murder. It's not like it was self-defense murder. You know what I'm saying? Too much going on. Everything ain't nothing. Too much moving in it. It's like, my nigga, there is no excuse for what you did, bro. So people are looking at this man like, you know, again, bro, there are situations out here where, you know, where you can point to certain things and, you know, you can say, well, this person lived like this and did this way. So you can see how he may have been misconstrued and led astray. But when you, at least on camera, bro, you talk to them and they act like they got some sense. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see this young man. You know what? I ain't gonna put no smut on his name, but I can tell you from watching this interview, homie, he ain't learned his lesson, man. Like, he think it's cool. And, you know, we talk about this a lot of times sitting around, like, these young cats these days, they'll kill you for the clout. You dig what I'm saying? And it appears that the clout that he's gained from this, bro, is kind of like, that's the main thing to him. Like, he thinks people are picking on him. You know what I'm saying? They're making him feel like a bad person. Leave him alone. Leave me alone, man. Y'all trying to make me feel bad about killing this man, about essentially being broke. You dig what I'm saying? Like, what is he talking about? Let's continue, man.
Yeah, does that feel crazy that to a decent percentage of the hip hop fans, they look at you as like pure evil, like you're just a monster?
I mean, look at King Von.
Right.
FBG Doug, I think that's his name.
But I feel like people look at those situations differently because they were in a gang war killing each other or killing their ops. Whereas this, to most people, just seems like a completely random situation.
Yeah, it's random. It is. But they like the music that these people giving out, talking about killing people, right? Right, they influencing this shit. They want to be this shit, right? Well, I live this shit every day.
So let's follow the logic here. So hypothetically, right? If we had a rapper that rapped about hopping backwards down Rodeo Drive or Pico Boulevard, let's go a little closer to the hood. Let's say we had a rapper rapping about hopping backwards down Pico in a brown corduroy suit with his eyes closed while at the same time giving himself a tattoo. Then apparently Blockstar would in fact, line all of those things up and go get him a brown corduroy suit. He would hop backwards down Pico with his eyes closed, giving himself a tattoo because apparently someone's got to do it. People make music about shooting and killing and all that. I lived through it. I got to go, you know what I'm saying? I got to get it done. Like, it's bad logic abound from this young man. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, bad, and I'll give it to Adam. Adam tried to make a good point. You know what I'm saying? Like, about the King Von, because he brings up King Von and like he said, King Von was shooting as his ops from his town, from his city, that had aggrieved upon him, maybe killed some of his homeboys, this, that, and the third. Pop Smoke was from the East Coast. Blockstar's from Compton, California. Pop Smoke was just out there enjoying his bread, balling out, doing what he do. Blockstar was in the hood, apparently not doing well financially. You go to take what Pop Smoke has, and you kill him because there's too much movement in the room, or because it was just kids being kids, or because I was on the perk. Like, bro, this is that whole little part of the interview, man, was just, is what got people talking. You dig what I'm saying? It's one thing that you got this young man with such ignorant comments, such ignorant statements. And then it's another thing when you look across the table, and yeah, there was a black guy there, but then you've got Adam 22 being the host and proprietor of it all, just indulging in Zeus TV type of content. You dig what I'm saying? Now, we're going to get into Adam's response to the backlash he received about this interview, and it goes along the lines of what I just said. But before I talk it up too much, let's play it.
Okay, so I wanted to respond to some of the feedback about me interviewing Blockstar, Pop Smoke's killer. I didn't do that interview because I don't care. That's what a lot of people seem to think, is that Adam just doesn't give a fuck. That's not the case at all. I did that interview because I thought that it was an important historical record of somebody who was involved in one of the most tragic, insane stories in rap history. I also think that, like, a lot of people seem to think that I'm the first person who's ever interviewed a killer, which is completely not true. All kinds of people come to mind, but let's just go with the obvious example, Terrence Gangster Williams, who I had on, and like everybody else in the podcasting world has had on. He says that he's killed over 40 people. And I haven't seen like even one single person say that I shouldn't be interviewing him. And I think the reason why is pretty obvious. Pop Smoke, famous rapper, beloved. Who did Gangster Williams kill? Like 40 drug dealers / gang members that you and I don't know. So it's kind of hard to like work up that empathy. But when you really look at it, I mean, O.J. Simpson did all these fucking interviews. I remember when Vlad took a lot of heat because he interviewed Keefe D, who was, it's like an extremely analogous situation because Keefe D obviously was involved in one of the most famous murders of a beloved rapper of all time. And I thought that it was pretty impressive that Vlad stood on his principles and did that interview because it was an important story to be told. Just like No Plug, after he killed Bankroll Fresh, he went and did an interview with Vlad, and I thought that was incredibly important. I thought it was very brave of Vlad that he actually went through with it, because that was an important interview in terms of us understanding that it wasn't like he just maliciously went and killed this dude. It was a shootout between two people who didn't get along. One person died. The person who died was the famous rapper.
All right, since Adam is a historian, it's time to give a proper history lesson here, okay? So, Adam says everyone acts like he's the only person to ever interview a killer, all right? He mentions Terrence Gangster Williams, who says he's killed 40 people down in New Orleans. He's a guy that's involved with Cash Money and Baby and all them. But a nobody as far as this pop culture thing. The people that he killed, we have no idea if he actually did. I don't know that we care. That's hood stuff. It's not even the same as comparable, just like the King Von situation. He mentioned OJ. I would like to state for the record, Orenthal James Simpson was found not guilty of double murder, right? Double homicide, however you want to word it. Keefe D is most likely lying. I heard Keefe D say he got cancer. He was trying to get that checked up and get him some cancer treatment, right? No Plug did not kill Bankroll Fresh. Bankroll Fresh shot himself. He shot the gun at the ground. The bullet ricocheted back, hit him. The video is online. You can go and watch. So none of the stories that Adam just pulled out of his anus have anything to do with this interview and this guy and the way he murdered or they murdered Pop Smoke. You dig what I'm saying? But we've got a last clip, and this explains it all. This explains Adam's motivation behind this whole thing. So let's get into that.
Also, I knew at that time that he was going to go do the interview with somebody else if I didn't do it. So I felt like I was uniquely capable. I care about one thing more than anything else, and that's feeding the streets, giving the streets what they want.
People who don't speak Black English will assume they know what is meant and not realize that they're shoehorning a different grammatical construction into one they already feel familiar with. But it's totally possible to get Black English wrong, and plenty of people do. And speakers of Black English will immediately know that you're faking it. That's what you sound like to Black Americans when you be saying, today's weather be like sunshine.
What are the streets exactly? I mean, it's kind of a general term. I'm talking about the people in the hoods. I'm talking about the gang members. I'm talking about the YouTube commenters. There's a lot of overlap. So what they want to see is really what I'm trying to bring to the table. Anyway, that's why I did it. I think I did a great job.
There you have it, folks. It's all about clickbait. It's about being a form of Zeus TV. He does it for the people in the hoods. He want to feed the streets. What streets have Adam 22 ever fed? You heard the way he said the people in the hoods. Oh my God, bro. So he said it himself, man. He's trying to be on this Vlad TV shtick. He thinks that Black people or his audience wants to see that interview or those type of interviews. And all he cares about is content. He didn't let that word slip, but if you know how to read between the lines and you just listen to what he said, he just wants content. He doesn't care who's offended by it. Of course, he's going to come out and say that he does, and he's not trying to, create any dissension out there among the ranks and things like that. But of course he is, man. He's trying to get his clicks up. The interview is like an hour and something long, in which there are parts of it that you can see him trying to pry, but the fact that he gave the interview in the first place is where he messed up at. And then you get this nigga coming on talking like he half stupid. It was a bad look. It was a bad look, but Adam is a clout chaser. Lil bruh has some misplaced clout that he feel like he's gained. He said he had a manager somewhere in the interview. A manager to do what? To get you on some interviews? I doubt if you got any rap music that's gonna get on. You know, your reputation, what you have behind you, he may think that he's like viewed as like a super thug because he killed Pop Smoke, but that won't bode well with you trying to go forward in this entertainment world. So I don't know what he's got the manager for, but I do know that interview ran across my periphery, man, and I thought it was a horrible look. You dig what I'm saying? Just ignorance all around. But what can you expect? Like I say all the time, man, when you put a video up, you start to see clicks on it repeatedly, it's easy to create a monster, man. But that's my take on Adam and Blockstar and what they had to say in that little interview a couple days ago. So until next time, man, this has been That Way with Jack Travis. I'll get with y'all soon. Loud.